What is up, peeps? How y'all doing? I hope you guys are doing good, because I'm not doing too bad and everything like that. So yeah, I'm One Quick Excited Fan 16 back here with part 4. Count it, 4 of 7 of the Off-Topic Artemis Fowl segment that I'm doing here. So I'll get right to her with book 4 here of Artemis Fowl by Eoin Colfer. This one is subtitled The Opal Deception. This was my first copy in the series to be hardback. So I very much like having it in hardback. It feels just so much better to hold a hardback book. It feels so much more legit. I don't know, I can't help it, especially for books like this. But as you can see from the title, the Opal Deception, if you remember from what I said in part 2 about book 2, the Arctic Incident, or if you just already know the book series in general, Opal Cowboy is back. She is again the villain in this one. But it takes a while for everyone to figure that out, because she was in a self-induced coma for 11 months. Craziness, I know, right? Yeah, you'd have to be totally obsessed. That's what they say in the book. And she is. Why? Because if you don't remember, she is a pathological liar and a megalomaniac and a narcissistic and all sorts of stuff. That is perfect for creating a insane female fairy creature villainess. Yeah. Anyways, but she's back for this, and this time she's got her 2 fairy cohorts, the Brill brothers, which are also pixies. Yeah, they are twins and everything, and that's really rare among fairy people, so they're actually kind of famous and everything. But that's really kind of it for the new people that they bring in for this. Except the big kicker of this is what I didn't mention in the third segment about the third book is at the end of the book, Artemis Butler and Juliet get their minds wiped of any knowledge of the fairy people. So why is there a 4th book? And just what's going to happen? Because if you remember from book 1, Artemis was able to beat the time stop in a blue rinse, which is supposed to be literally impossible, but he does it anyways because he's a genius. So what's going to happen here? Some way to jog his memories back, because obviously they didn't leave, they just were sort of half covered up from the consciousness to the subconsciousness, and just the brain made up memories to fill its place. And especially since Artemis's father got saved in back at the end of book 2 and everything like that, and so now the family all wants to go legit. His dad is like, no more criminal stuff. The family's gonna go legit and be on the right side of the law. No more criminal activity and all that stuff. So, but Artemis is having trouble adjusting to that and everything, and so he doesn't quite do it. And he's kind of only sort of reverted back to his old ways of being a criminal mastermind since the mind wipe and everything. Of course, he's now about 14, so he's sort of still kind of growing up and everything like that. But basically, this takes place. It's there's a heart-wrenching moment, at the beginning of the book. Involving the Lep and some really suspense stuff and everything. This one is actually one of the more suspenseful books of the series, especially obviously so far, because the heroes are in so many dire situations this way, and it just seems like there's no way in hell they're getting out of this everything. And so it's really cool to read this and like to go page by page of how the characters are being desperate and they're trying everything they can against just insurmountable odds. I mean, you got one part in here, you got Holly and Artemis, which Artemis is not physical at all. He's, puny. All he's got is his brain to do the exercising, not his body. And so physical exercise is very strenuous in seconds. Him and her against an entire horde of trolls, and they're trapped with them. And they're sprayed down with female troll pheromones, which apparently aren't supposed to wash off for 1,000 years. But yeah, I only see it get referenced once, and no one later on says, "Oh, hey, you smell like a troll." So it seems like it wouldn't take 1,000 years to rub it off. Whatever. I don't know. What happens in here is you got it's actually an even better battle of wits between Artemis and Opal in this one than in the Arctic Incident, which is book 2. So I really liked how that took another step in a good direction, even though Opal was back. But I thought it was cool, 'cause, I mean, as many things, the previous villains make a way to come back, and especially since she didn't die, of course she was going to come back. So it was good to see some cool stuff, and of course your drama and your humor in this and everything, and no, not yet. I'll say that later. And so that's kind of what takes place here, and you got your issues with Foley and everything, and he's doing this and that and the other, and Holly's getting blamed for this again because she isn't exactly a model LEP officer and everything, but basically, yeah, it's just kind of oh yeah, I totally whiffed on the story bit, or it's Artemis working on trying to get his memories back and trying to help save the fairy people from being discovered by the human world, because that's what Opal is doing this time around. She brought in a human to try and do something to make it where their worlds were going to collide, and it was going to be beyond disastrous for the fairy people in terms of loss of life and destruction and everything like that. It would have been completely catastrophic. And Opal changes herself, but I won't say because you guys need to read the book and everything. And so that's kind of how that goes. I know I totally whiffed on telling what the story's about, but it's about, like I say, Artemis finding his memories, them trying to figure out, half the book is trying to figure out people saying, "Oh, Opal's back." No, she's not. She's right here, so it's, that back and forth and everything, and then, just trying to save the world from catastrophe, which is basically the main plot line of all the book series. Just save the world again, save the fairy people, blah blah blah, woohoo! But it's very enjoyable. I liked this one quite a bit. So that's kind of it on what I got for Artemis Fowl, the Opal Deception, book 4. So this has been part 4 of part 7 in the Artemis Fowl series and everything. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you like the book, if you don't, if you hadn't heard of it before, ask me questions on it. I don't care. Like I say, this has been another off-topic episode of Dunce Cap. So I'm Will McQuigg, Side of 16. Say until next time. Peace.